Here's Kyle Busch working the outside of Greg Biffle. Man, that's a tricky pass to try to make right there.
You can see he just wasn't able to make the pass complete, but he was able to stay right there and getting a little help from Brian Vickers in the 83 car.
I don't know if that's help or not, getting bump drafted down into turn 3.
That is 10th, 11th, 12th, and 13th on your screen. Kenseth back behind Vickers.
Now, this is definitely going to help him here if they can just hook up and draft down this straightaway. You can see how they can just mow right by Greg Biffle.
Back toward the front, again a battle for 4th position. This time Edwards tries to get it, but Busch will hold him off in turn 1.
You see Casey Kane's trying to fill that spot where Carl Edwards is down on the bottom. Now he takes it outside. Just really going to be difficult. Your car has to be really good to go through those bumps and make a pass in 1.
Yeah, I've not seen a car yet that could run down there and actually make any ground. Everyone we've seen on the bottom has actually lost some spots.
Now's the time for these guys to be finding out exactly what they can do, and that will change as the day goes a little bit. They're able to get some rubber down. That'll help them a little bit.
4 laps in of 200 here at Pocono Raceway. Remember, we have a competition yellow coming at lap 20. So these guys can run awfully hard right now and try to burn up the tires. Look at this move here by Juan Pablo Montoya on the inside of Edwards.
Yeah, it looked like Edwards got just a little bit high in turn 3, and Montoya trying to take advantage.
Yeah, those guys trying to use that patch up there, but if they get that right side tires off of it just a little bit, there's no grip outside of that.
And now Montoya's hung on the bottom in turn 1. Having to deal with those bumps.
Everybody knows that you're going to be able to come in on lap 20 and check the tires, so why not try to burn them off early? Being very aggressive in the early laps, it is Jimmy Johnson showing the way at Pocono. Here are the current standings for the AT&T Fastest Pit Crew of the Year. Now, points are accumulated by the team who wins the race by fan voting and by an ESPN pick. And right now, it is Jeff Gordon's team number 1, Earnhardt Jr., Tony Stewart, and our current race leader, Jimmy Johnson, is 4th overall. Make your pick for the AT&T Fastest Pit Crew of the Year by texting the car number for the pit crew you think is fastest and most valuable in each race to 2258. Standard messaging rates will apply. And Jimmy Johnson may need to make a cell phone call back to the field because he is pulling away at the front of the field. But at the back of the field, or toward the back of the field, our points leader, Tony Stewart, has gained 12 positions. He passed 12 cars, guys, in 6 laps, and he continues to move toward the front. Right now, Tony Stewart in 29th position.
Yeah, the fact that he knows that 20-lap competition caution is coming out, it's going to allow him to just really push his car, do some things here, try to pass as many as he can before we make that stop. And he's got that number 1 pit stall down there, so when they make that caution flag stop, he can probably make up some ground. How about it, Dave Byrne?
Andy Petrie, you've been reading my mind. Actually, I asked Darian Grubb how important that was in the June race. And since they got the same advantage this weekend, qualifying rained out, championship leader gets to pick the first stall, they picked it again because that's the end of Tony's pit stall right there, that line. Here's a timing line right over here, and Tony can actually speed for a second there and beat guys in that little section to the timing line and pick up more spots. Darian said it worked a lot for us in June. We're definitely going to take advantage of it again today.
We are 10 laps into the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series here presented by Old Spice at Pocono Raceway. If you just joined our coverage, Tony Stewart had to go to the back of the pack in a backup car because of wrecking his primary car in practice on Saturday. He is moving steadily through the pack up to 29th. And Jimmy Johnson, last week's winner at the Brickyard 400. There's the interval between Johnson, the left of your screen, and the second place car of Jeff Gordon.
Yeah, and Jimmy Johnson, you talk about a phone call. If he was going to use his Sprint phone right now, he'd have to call a different area code back to where Tony Stewart is, even though he's running well. That's a long way back there. Jimmy Johnson just set sail.
Little 3-wide racing right here, getting down into turn 3. Robbie Gordon looking inside Truex and Allmendinger.
Yeah, that's the key is there that Allmendinger's spotter's telling him that there's another car coming there so that he doesn't think he's just beat the one car down into that corner. He has to be aware that there's another one there filling that spot.
Robbie Gordon has gained 10 positions in the 7 car. Robbie, the owner driver there, excited about how well he runs here. Really excited about going to Watkins Glen next week where he will run both the Nationwide and the Sprint Cup race on the road course.
Yeah, he's typically one of the cars to beat when you go to a road course. And this is a track kind of similar to a road course, but extremely fast. Vince?
What's interesting, I visited with Robbie beforehand today, and he said they haven't been particularly pleased with the car here, so they've come up with, as he told me, a new recipe. He said that he hopes that it will get the car cooking, no pun intended, or maybe it was intended, and moving toward the front, and it seems as though they've found the right mixture so far here today.
Like a testing, these guys not only have to use the practice sessions to do some testing, they literally have to use the race sometime to do that. We see the 14 car, Tony Stewart here, losing some spots.
Looks like something's wrong with that 14 right now, because he had passed these guys early on, no problem.
I think that possibly, again, his crew chief told me this morning.
10-4, go ahead and bring it on in.
Yeah, they got some kind of problem right here. They're coming in.
Yeah, I wondered if it was the setup, because he said they were set up for cloudy condition, but this is a little more severe than that.
And he will come on pit road here on lap number 12. Jams the brakes on to try to get it down to 55 miles an hour. You do not want to speed here. We saw what can happen to your winning chances a week ago.
Right there.
This
I went
could
down
still
and
work out for Tony.
my ass again. It just took off. Simple, this is not going to hurt us. We'll be fine.
He's thinking he may have a flat tire.
Yeah, he is. And you heard Darian Grubb say didn't think it would hurt him. I think he could still, this might work out okay.
Yeah, I think he's going to lose a lap, but he's going to be the only car a lap down, so he will get the free pass then.
Yeah, they cannot put fuel in here because they haven't made that competition caution stop yet, and NASCAR will not allow you to put fuel in until after that. Jimmy just passed him to put him a lap down right here. Might as well go ahead and get 4 tires.
So here again, he will be the only car as of right now with the competition yellow, just 7 laps away, a lap down, so he will get the free pass and be able to get back on the lead lap. Let's listen to Tony on the radio here.
See here as he goes down turn 1, the car gets really loose at that point.
Yeah, he knows he's got a problem right here.
He said that he almost busted his tail, somewhat like that, and like he did the other day.
They're checking the tires out right now. They're not obviously flat, but there could be a tire down. They're checking the air pressures and the temperatures.
Yeah, I think this may have a lot to do with what they were talking about. They were set up for more cloudy conditions. They got the good off the tires in about 10 laps, and then the car went extremely loose, and Tony thought he had a problem.
So stable up front right now, it is Jimmy Johnson, Jeff Gordon, Denny Hamlin, Kurt Busch, and Casey Kane, the top 5, as we are just 6 laps away from the caution.